Hey everybody, welcome to the second game of the NBA Play-In Tournaments. I'm Meatphone, and I'm with Spinny. This is the part of the second game as we're ready to get this thing on the board. Plus, I have a special guest here, and who's playing here with us. It's Test Tube. That's right, guys. As we're looking over it, this is the second game as we're ready to see what's going on here, folks. How you all doing? It's been always that great. We love seeing things on a better effort here. And now for you there, my special guest of the star, my favorite contestant of all of it, Science Gal. What is your take here on how they will do and are successful?
Well, thanks so much there, Phone. I mean, all I gotta say now is that Minnesota, it might be the harder way to do for them. As the Timberwolves are playing against the Grizzlies in the battle of the 7th versus the 8th seed, it's kind of a hard contest to put it in. The better showdown is not always the easier thing to do for them. In between of the land of the 10,000 Erie Lakes here, Minnesota, and for the Memphis of the other side by the other team of the Volunteer State of Tennessee. So there's going to be a little hard range to put the matchup in. I think what we're looking for is that Minnesota might be able to put it all. I think they haven't been in the playoffs that long. And for Memphis Grizzlies, they're doing so well as they missed the last postseason of the game. They're really stumbled out, but nothing really settles down as they're really been looking it over again. But I feel like there's a middle match range. Rudy Gobert and Zach Edey are definitely the only center guards in position. I think we might be seeing what's going to happen. I think Rudy Gobert is going to have a better block than over Zach Edey. That's my take.
Oh, man. We're really sure enough that though. You know what? I'm going to say now, Zach Edey. I've seen him doing all of his better effort. I think from Purdue University, he's going to get his first block in the postseason. That's for part of a play-in tournament if he's looking for his better career. I've got a better effort anyway, so there might be one change.
We'll see about that. I don't know what's going to change in there. John Morant? Mike Conley? Who could know? It's definitely what they choose for, that they are doing it for now.
Well, thank you so much, Test, for bringing a prediction. Let's see what happens with this game. The start of our head coaches is Chris Finch for the Minnesota Wolves, Mike Conley with Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. The other side, the Grizzlies, Taylor Jenkins is the head coach for the Grizz, with John Morant, Desmond Bane, Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zach Edey. Let's get down to FedEx Forum for the second game of the night. And our presentations is Terry Crews. He's also along with the others, with Son of Bass and Roy Cruz. See you all later for the post-game show. Let's get started. Guys, all yours.
See you later, everybody.
It's game time! Hey everybody, I'm Terry Crews and I'm here with my broadcast partner,
along with Son of Beast
and Roy Cruz for tonight's game. Tonight's center court is David Aldridge for tonight's of the matchup. We've got the Jackson Jr. and the other team against Julius Randle. It's been a better ways than that because we're about to be seeing what goes in with the starting groups. As we're starting for the lineups here, Mike Conley and Morant are the starting key matchups in point guard position. Let's see what happens if the take goes in. Chris Finch with a 207 wins over 160 with his team in a better regular season of the effort. And a better team has been starting to show strong here in Memphis, Tennessee. Here we go. Game starts now. For the start, here's Randle. He'll send a pass over now finding to Conley as he's right toward the outside of his zone. Looks to Randle as he's right toward the zone. He looks again to Edwards. Passes over to Gobert. Over Edey. That'll be a first pointer for Rudy Gobert as he starts his first pointer of the game. Doesn't really stand the effort out now for Rudy Gobert. He's really showing it on a better effort. I mean, when the last time he definitely played it with Minnesota, it was back at turn of the year by 2023 to 24 season. It was nowhere a match, but he really took everything when he was under control to, and with all that matchup, a just really rolled it out and beat over by Denver Nuggets, defending champion of 2022-23 season. Here's Conley, he's right toward the outside. He now finds the pass over, now finding Edwards. Following a bucket by Zach Edey as his first bucket. Edwards, Conley up. Two-pointer kick ready to go. They'll try again for Edwards. For the two, that one hooks it in for Edwards as he's got his first bucket. 5:45 left to go in the first.
Look how really good it is now for Edwards. He's really showing a better ski and a better zone. It's just keeps it going from outside of it. And you're looking on the better range. There's no between the zone and that. They've really been keeping the pressure again. Didn't see what goes at? I didn't see anything.
Another miss by Memphis Grizzlies. Here's Randall. 5:15 left to go in the first quarter as he looks over to McDaniels. McDaniels tries to look over to get him at Conley. And now find McDaniels. McDaniels, they're up. Just shots foul. That was going to be on Edey with his first personal foul. First team foul. As we're looking it over right now, that's Zach Edey. The first time he played for after his senior year at Purdue University. It was one of his big takes here. He loves playing his sports. First, he played a part of it. Played in Toronto, in Canada. A Canadian player that is athletic. All his situations, he really does everything. And what he knows for, he does everything. He loves most of his sports. And his 9th overall draft pick has made him do with his better team to select him with his team. And with no other center guards on his own for Memphis, it just changes over.
I see what the point is now for Zach Edey. When he really makes it over, he had a lot of leading team to the NCAA Division I men's basketball championship. And he was definitely listed right now, 7 feet 4 inches. He's definitely making a lot of great histories out there. I mean, I love seeing things when he doesn't get longer that much. He was definitely playing with Purdue by 2022. And then by 2023, of his college senior year, he's definitely finishing up with the Big Ten Conference team. It was amazing that he really done all of it on his hard work. I can't wait to see what he makes it do if he gets over it.
After a bucket made here by Desmond Bain, here's Conley with 4:40 to go. Now as Randall now finds it at Edwards. The pass down by Randall. Here's a cut. The two-pointer goes around. No good. Well, there. Broken up by Morant. Morant on the fast pace. Over to Edey. Rebound again. Good day by Gobert. He rolls a stop with 3 rebounds of his game.
Oh, it isn't able to make it showing up that point. Now, Rudy Gobert was trying to deny Edey.
It's a hard contest out there. Nothing stands chance. McDaniels now finds Conley as he's right toward outside of him. Over Morant. That's missed again. Edey with a rebound. Now over again Morant. Morant. Sidestep for the layup and good. The try making it good and easy for Morant to score.
Big tries or concerns here for John Morant as he really has hold of them after playing with the college of his professional team by 2019. Now he's looking like he wants to extend his contract. Let's make him work.
Edwards. Finish the drive over Jackson Jr. and good. Anthony Edwards with a tricky layup as he makes it in. Timeout being called by Memphis Grizzlies with 3:28 to go. We'll get them talking things over to reveal up by Gatorade. Now, as for the new head coach, as right now Taylor Jenkins has already been finished off in his season, he has a newer head coach for the Grizzlies, as he's really making his all-better history. We say welcome to our interim, as right at this moment, it doesn't mean what he makes it do, but rushing toward in the postseason, nothing stands a chance. As right now, it's definitely the final week of the schedule. As right at this moment, it definitely turned to be all he knows for Tomas Lisso. And as a guard for in this moment, he is trying to see what he does for his first postseason with his team. The interim coach has been definitely on his way. But as right now, Tyler Jenkins has finished his career with
Memphis Grizzlies, before the end of the regular season, didn't really seem to be carrying it for it that much. We'll have to see what he can do for it without any other help.
Nothing really stands in here for Taylor Jenkins as he's really making the finish afterwards. What he can definitely know for, it's just definitely a finish when he does. What I say now is that why is the new head coach replacing him? Well, because he wants to give it all what he got, and let's see what he does for it. Let's see if he can handle it with his own team if he stays in the game.
DiVincenzo's checked in for the Timberwolves, and as for the Grizzlies, he's checked out, and checking in is Huff. DiVincenzo right toward outside. He now finds the pass again. McDaniels right toward away. He gives it over to Randall. Randall gives to Edwards. Gives the cut in motion in the middle. Top shot. Makes it in for Edwards to make another two. They're up by 3.
It doesn't really see not going. Anthony Edwards almost made it hard and impossible in the drive. That is almost wicked.
Morant looks to Jackson Jr. 2-drop floater, no good. Gobert with the rebound. He has his 4th. 2:38 to go in the first quarter. Guerrero tries to settle things down. Now finds DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo looking around a bit. McDaniels passes down to Randall. Up in the drive and good. Randall makes a 2-pointer as he has his first bucket. After with the Knicks, he now refuses to play with the other team. After Cat's finished, Randall is ready to take on with the next hydration.
Well, say our name out there. I mean, what they say now for Zach Edey, he realizes that, well, Randall's definitely always been big and professional, but he didn't really think he was going to give it all what he can.
DiVincenzo right toward outside. Pass to Edwards. It's the pass now finding DiVincenzo. Give over to Randall, up for 2, and good. He makes another 2-pointer for the Timberwolves on an 8-row run, last 150 for second. This makes it a great chain off to put it in. It's stolen by DiVincenzo. Fast break, here they come. Over to Randall, and he couldn't save it. He went out of bounds, and it goes right to Grizzlies ball.
Well, that time he was a little bit short outwards. I mean, this is definitely what happens. They couldn't get it back. This is what happens. They don't get it often.
We'll look at a little over with the Western Conference standings. Those both teams are definitely on a higher range. They didn't really stand up outwards, but they've really been keeping it on the road. How did it really take you over here?
Well, I felt like that may have been just how hard he does. It doesn't really make anything a huge difference. And I say now that the Grizzlies been looking like they really wanted to keep their own what they got, but it looks like they've really been like stepping and slowing down for it in the last 2 seconds. I'm not sure what's going on, but they're really like they have to give somebody else a better open look. Let's see what they can do if they can try to stop it.
The foul's picked up on Memphis. Kobe Jackson Jr. with his first personal foul and their second team foul for Memphis. 51 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Now at the free throw, he will be coming in. So right now it's Julius Randle's at the free throw line shooting 10. First free throw makes it in for Julius Randle. Now for some new changes here as 3 players come on the court. Nikita Alexander Walker is checked in with Naz Reid and Jordan Clark. And for the Grizzlies, 4 players checked out as 4 players are checked in. Alderman, Jackson, Kennard, and right turn in the center of it, trying to look for another great take. Missed a second. As Alderman with his own rebound, he will now try to handle it over. Pressure now finds Jackson. For 2, trying to get it over him, and he's fouled. That will be Randall. And will be his first foul of the game. And this will be G.G. Jackson heading to the free throw line, shooting 2.
Don't start it off that too soon, so we're going to get them with a lot of taking. You know, when you keep the final picture of it, you're not getting it well.
First free throw coming in for Memphis Grizzlies with only 43 seconds left in the first quarter. Looks like they're going to need to give some time off to.
And let me tell you, there's nothing that they really have to do for it. What sometimes they did for it in the last part of a game, they beat against the Denver Nuggets in the second overtime. Remember that game? This really makes it a hard chance for G.G. Jackson to give it over. You didn't really think he was going to try to keep it all what he got, but make it possible, it's just anything what he does for it.
First free throw makes in for G.G. Jackson.
For Julius Randle, he really makes it a little bit with his better quote, and he's definitely just had nothing to say for it. When you look at big pictures, you're starting to see what's going to happen. You sure what's going on with the rim and the ball? Well, this is what they made him do for it. You lose your quality, and you're losing on focusing on the little things. They know there are nothing to choose anything for you, but the big sky and the arena and the fans, there's nothing to really change in for it. They've got to see what they do for it, and they have a better chance. They have to see what the cooler image goes in. Make it happen.
After a bucket by DiVincenzo, here's Pippen Jr. Right turn away. Trying to slam back. Kennard. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Down the mode to check the screen. Three-pointer doesn't carry it in. And as Randall's right toward the other wing with 5 seconds left. Randall. For deep three, and that went off the ring. And it's the first quarter. Tightest game for today. It's a 16-10 run. They're up by 6. We'll get ready for the second quarter. We'll be back with you soon. And if you're just tuning in for the second quarter, we welcome you back at the FedEx Forum. Playing it for every hour of the game. Nothing really settles down here, but the first part of a half that they've really been took it over and under.
Well, I've got to say now is that most teams definitely really had a hard comeback in the rallies. But it seems like the Grizzlies have been really trying to keep it knocked out. There's no other way, but they wanted to try to bump it out of the zone. They really need to try to keep it in there if it's a better chance, puts in a better record. It's really what the hard take is, guys.
As the foul picks up for the Timberwolves, it will be Reed with his first personal foul. And the first team foul for Minnesota. Starting on the group for the Grizzlies is now Zach Edey's back on the court. He'll be taking 2 shots.
Zach Edey's been really all over on the circuits. I mean, you just look at how well he does for Zach Edey. He really showed everything. And nothing really settles it in. He really hadn't started enough then to make anything that possible. It's just definitely what happens with. If you're playing as a 7-feet guy, you would have to face against him. There's a little challenge with the constipation. I feel like there may be another way for Edey to give it all what he got. So it can be anything. That's a better ways to have it at.
And then for playing for career highlights and awards, I mean, he was one of our biggest National College Player of the Year 2 times. And then he was a scoring champion and puts it in. Biggest of the athlete of the game. Just 2 times. He just went crazy afterwards. Don't you get it?
Yes, I do get that point. I mean, that's Edey's definitely really well. Like, him all what he's chance for. I would like to see what he does for him again.
Indeed. Ray Dillingham for the 3-pointer as they're up and rolling ahead by 8. Pippen Jr. right toward the wing, and Dillingham is right on it. Edey denies the screen. It's stolen by Reed. Here they come on the fast break. Now as Jaden Clark pulls back again to Alexander Walker. Randall's right toward the outside of the zone. Now finds again a Reed. Reed. Here's Dillingham for the 2, and he got it in. That'll be a number 2-pointer for the Timberwolves as Reed with the assist.
Doesn't seem like to be impossible for Dillingham that he made a number 2-pointer. That's better easy for you to make a shot.
Against Randall. Step on a Pippen foot. Pippen Jr. Slides back. Spins for 2. No good. Clark with a rebound. He rolls it over to a 5:30 on the mark. Clark rolling it in. Here's Randall. Over with a shot. Great team by Alderman.
Jackson's got his ball, and right toward the other way it goes. Here's Kennard. Toward the wing. Kennard in trouble, and the reach will be picked up by Reed. This will be his second foul after 17 fouls for Minnesota. Two players on the court as Randall is checked out. Edwards checks back in. The Grizzlies are making new changes here as three players are checked out. Jackson and Pippen Jr. moves over as Luke Kennard's in point guard and Conchar is on the court. Williams Jr. right toward in the zone. On the gap. Denied the Edward. A scoop. Didn't quite get there. And a rebound pushed by Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker now finds Dillingham. Dillingham now finds Alexander Walker. Trying to give over. The Reed opens the shot. And over ED goes. Reed takes his first bucket in. 23-11's the score.
Looked like the process of putting it in for Reed. He really had it all coming in down. I mean, this is no weird joke. They really have to be leaning on it when he does. Edie, no problem here. As he has another 2-pointer to get that one a good start.
They're down by 10.
Looked like the hustle is going to be coming back in there. Well, they're sure to be happy there.
And Dillingham's right toward the way now finds McDaniels. McDaniels, Dillingham, Alexander Walker. Slides back. Now finds McDaniels. Over with a chance. Alexander Walker up. That rolls off the rim. And a rebound puts in for Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard. Trying to ride it in. On the way downtown. In the middle of the paint. As he rolls a 23-15 score. Down by 8. Now Edwards will try things again from the top. Edwards now finds it over the pass to Alexander Walker. Walker now finds the pass again to McDaniels. McDaniels with no room. Pressuring, now finding Edwards. For 2, off the backboard and in. That'll be McDaniels as their 8 points puts in for Edwards.
Really see going on out there. That Anthony Edwards has been really strapping in for his own. This is just mainly what they are all expecting it for. They've got to find out a better way to get through it.
The pass to Edie with a dunk. He's back to throw. That's the first up for the Edie on the throwdown. And he has his first 2.
Great settle in that point. Edie's been putting it in with a nice running.
That's a great start to make it in. Timeout call by Timberwolves with 3 minutes in the first half. They'll talk things over by Chris Finch to get ready to get the next set. Now as we're looking over by Chris Finch, he knows us that when he makes it often, he has something to say about Ja Morant. And for now, as Ja Morant's been putting in with a better use of his effort, he's looking like he wants to have it all with a better range than that. It's definitely what he's been doing it for the past of the games. Because sometimes he makes it a post-game interview after the loss against the Warriors. He has something to say about this.
I mean, obviously you don't want to lose on your, home floor. Last 2 felt away, but yeah, we got to protect home court and go out and get wins. Just flip the script and take a different mentality on the road. Pretty much what I said, locking in to the game plan, knowing your personnel, being disciplined. If you have, the greatest shooter in the world, he shouldn't even attempt that much threes.
We know about the problem with that one here for Ja Morant is he really had a lot of struggle to play against with the Golden State Warriors. That verse-off battle is not really the easy option. He really had a lot of hard timing with his constipating, and he's really been doing it for him. The team's never been as well extraordinary in a matchup. This is simply what hard it gets.
Indeed. I mean, that Ja Morant's been really trying to give it over. And he didn't have any response to give it over to. He really have to run it our way to get right to it.
Nice three-pointer. I love the energy. Looks like they're coming back down by 5. Looks like they're got to find somebody else. Hammer rolls the pass, finding Conley. Conley trying to get right over to the corner. Back to Edwards. Down to 2 minutes left in the first half of the game. As he puts a rebound, he finds McDaniels. McDaniels now finds the DiVincenzo. Here's a cut for 2. And he's got it in. Another 2-pointer for DiVincenzo after McDaniels with the assist.
Really saw that coming out there, and after DiVincenzo, he's really like battling for the option. That made that one an unstoppable.
On a shot, foul picked up on DiVincenzo. This will be his first and third team foul for Minnesota. 1:41 left to play in the first half. And now for the Grizzlies, as right now this will be 2 free throws coming up for the Grizzlies. And as Bain hits the first free throw, he will settle it over with. And as right now, new substitutions coming on the court. Williams Jr. is checked out, and checking back in will be Wells. Don't forget, folks, we have our first half coming down to an end. Halftime show is coming up underway soon to get ready to see what's going on. There'll be tons of toughness games out there, so be sure to have a lookout underway soon. It's been a harder way to have it than that, but as Ernie Johnson along with Kenny and Shaq, they'll be having some discussions. They'll be coming up after the first half. McDaniels brings it outside of his zone. He now finds a pass again to Conley. Conley looks to Edwards. Here's a cut in motion on the play bounding. He's fouled. That'll be on Wells with his first. And the first team fouls on Memphis.
We didn't like that call afterwards. Watch what happened with Edwards. This is the kind of drive he made it in there. This is what Hard makes a play. And he really didn't have that one shook it up. This is what happens for now. Is that Edwards, he's saying, okay, I'm going to take it in the middle. But he was fouled. He got knocked out.
Free throw coming up for the Minnesota Timberwolves as Edwards is at the free throw line.
Not so good afterwards. I mean, that Will Smith took a foul. He really had that one a little slower to give it over to. I don't know what's the problem with this one, but Anthony Edwards really seemed to get over this one.
Edwards missed the first free throw.
You see what happens with Wales. He was really a little desperate out. You can see what happens with the interim head coach. He's a little unfocused out there. And you know, because what happens after Taylor Jenkins, he was able to finish up with his career. I didn't really think he was able to trying to give it all over to. I said, what are you doing? We have to get back into work. Just need to get some better effort to try to slow it down.
After 2 free throw miss, here's Wells. Wells on his way. Passed him around for 3. Rebound by Edwards. 1:13 left to remain in the first half of the game as he has his first rebound. Over now to McDaniels. McDaniels now finds it again to Conley, waits for it outside on Ja Morant. Morant looks to DiVincenzo. McDaniels threw it outside. Cut into off the rim. Rebound by Rudy Gobert. Conley pulls again to McDaniels. Edwards, here's the cut. No chance here. Jackson Jr. with his own rebound, he now finds it open to Wells. Wells on Edwards. On the better D. Good D by Edwards. He's got his second rebound of the night.
Didn't see to last that long. I mean, that's what happens with Edwards. He's been slowing up to pick up the fight.
Edwards now finds it over to McDaniels. McDaniels finds the pass to Edwards. Here's the 2, and he does it again. That's his third time a charm to finish the first half. He has 10. Now it's Morant. Sends a pass to Jackson Jr. and a good ball around in the rim. And we'll go over to Ja Morant with the assist.
Looking good. Looking a little comfortable out there. A little bit of a roll drive to finish it.
Conley, deep 3, and it's off the rim. Ends the first half with a 29-24 score. First half is concluded. We'll be back with you soon. But now it's time to get into the half. Guys,
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Folks, can't tell you how much it means to us to have you back with us on the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. Means the world, doesn't it? It's Minnesota out in front of the half. They lead by 5. Kenny, what's yours?
They found a slight edge on the board, and they've done it with nothing but raw determination. I mean, look, they've got talent, but the passing is there, and that separates these guys. They're simply refusing to give up possession.
And Shaq, let's get your input from the Grizzlies.
Their inside attack has been overwhelming. But they need some more. These guys are closing their room physically.
And that's going to do it for us here. Second half of action is coming your way.
You've been watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks, as we're ready to get started for the third quarter at FedEx Forum. Close game afterwards is a 29-24 score. As we're looking for Anthony Edwards, he makes that one a great jumpage on his own good start in the first half, with 3 times a charm after he missed 2 of them. After a free throw, didn't really think he was able to get that long.
Of course he would. I mean, this is what makes it happen with Anthony Edwards. He's willing to give up an all better start. So I got a feeling they really have been able to give it all what they've got. So they really have to see what they can do to give it all what they change over to. I've got a little bit of a hard feeling if they wanted to keep it going, let's see what they can do if they can try to keep it going.
Edwards now finds Randall after a miss made by Memphis. Randall now finds it over again to McDaniels. And pass to Conley. Conley over to Jackson Jr. And a great rebound here by Morant. Morant's got another free throw coming down, and here he goes. Oh, wow! What a throwdown like that. Just for 2, I thought we'd like to see that play.
Well, no, there's no reason with that. I mean, he was going to try to like throw things down, but I thought with one hand, he wants to do some move. I don't see what goes in.
McDaniels now finds Edwards. Here's the cut. Oh, he took him out. What a nice slam by Anthony Edwards.
Oh, wow. Back to back on the throwdown. After Morant, now Edwards, get out of here. That's a big throwdown.
Morant now finds Bain. Bain launching in. Fades. The rebound by Edie. And he will kick it in. 31-28 to score. The tightness in the game puts it in. And here's Conley. Toward Wayne now finding Rudy Gobert. Right toward zone. And a drop in. Puts in for Rudy Gobert with 5 points in the game. Morant will now try it the other way. Watching Onzo, now find Jackson Jr. Screen rejected. Over with the pass, Bain for 3. And it's another miss by Memphis Grizzlies. Gobert's got his 9th rebound of the night. 5 minutes left in the third. Here's Conley for the finish. Good take, but he didn't get the layup in time. Wells up for 2. Rebound. Put back in. Up it goes. No good. Man, they were just going over right now. I mean, what's going on with that? Gobert tries to give over to Edwards. Edwards goes again to Conley, and he now rolls into Randall. Randall back to Conley, down to 5. Finding Edwards. A chance, up and goes. Oh, he does it again.
We got to check this one out here. That Randall, he looks like he was watching at Edwards. He felt like, no way. I don't believe how he did that one, but this is what the throwdown he made. Pass to 2. Watch out.
That was amazing play. This one is presented by AT&T, the 5G Slam Cam. Morant denied by Gobert. And he'll get it back for Jackson Jr. The number 2-pointer gets it in, and they're back down by 5.
Well, that puts it up with a bigger drive and a blockage effort for Rudy Gobert. He got a great status, but Jackson Jr. had a little bit of an answer back, so there wasn't any change up to make a difference out of it. That really has to extend the play.
Daniels
Conley up. Got it. Another 2-pointer for the Timberwolves, as it's now a 37-30 game. Here's Spain. Timeout given by the Memphis Grizzlies with only 3:31 to go in the third.
Makes some hard change out there. Nothing really saying, so they've really kept on coming down.
Attention all fans. The tickets for the NYC and Los Angeles of the BFDI and Enemy Insanity Tour have been sold out. You know, a lot of people there have been able to enjoy it for themselves without any concerns. Because at this point, it has been flying that fast, and there are not enough available seats to take the purchase. As your concerns, we will be able to ask you advisedly to try to make your time purchase right. Because at this point, there's a lot of people that have been choosing things in. And for those of you who have already made your tickets, thank you for your time. We couldn't appreciate it with anything. And for the rest of you who couldn't make it on time, would have been able to try to make it on time planned. So please try to make your selected tickets by next year of 2026. But there's a lot of plenty of seats available here for the BFDI and Insanity Tour of 2025. And of course, we got the new screenings up here for you. The first half will be the first episode of the brand new season of the Enemy Insanity. Following along with the other one is a new episode of the BFDI and the TPOT, the newest of the episode, plus the back half will be the back three, BFDI A and an Anime Insanity episode 2. Now we all these here, so be sure to get your tickets here. We have plenty of them available for you for Chicago, Seattle, Fort Lauderdale, and Houston. Be sure to get your tickets here at BFDI.tv or animesanity.com/tickets. And you can be the next one in. Enjoy the show. Reed, throw it outside. Back up 2. Good. Number 2-pointer puts it in for the Timberwolves. It's now 39-32.
Looks like there's a lot of hustling out there, and that's what happens with Reed. He's really showing up the block.
Kevin Jr. on Dillingham. Fades. Looks. Up for 2. Too strong on the backhander. Now it's Gobert with the only rebound. Slows down. Right over to Dillingham. Step in for 2. That's another miss. Reed back to Dillingham. Dillingham right again to Alexander Walker. 6 to shoot. Reed's got to get moving. Here's the cut. Up and drive, and good. Nice Reed with 6 points in the game. 41-32.
Well, they're definitely like speeding up the gut out there. They've really got to keep going.
Jackson on Clark. Up for 2. Oh, Gobert! He denied it quickly, and he rolls back over again to Alexander Walker.
Oh, nothing must here on a defense opportunity.
What a great play this is. Nice block. It's stolen by Jackson Jr. Here comes Jackson. Clark on him. Ball's loose, and it's stolen. Here comes Alexander Walker. Up and goes, he's fouled. He got bumped over by G.G. Jackson. And as for Gobert, he's trying to get all of it done.
Well, there's not better offense here because what happens with G.G. Jackson, he really been shooting over. This is what the bump is. That almost would have been almost a fragment foul. Nothing stand.
Free throw coming up for Nikita Alexander Walker as he's a free throw line with 90 seconds in the third. Alexander Walker makes the free throw. And some new changes here, as right now the subbing out will be Dillingham and Steven Chen has checked in. We'd like to remind you, everyone, that the NBA Play-In Tournament on 2K Sports is brought to you by Hotels.com. Find your perfect place somewhere. American Express. Don't live life without it. And by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. He knocked another free throw down. I mean, that quickly. I mean, that makes it a lot of hard changing adjustments. They really kept on coming and flying back down. Aldemus right to her in the wing. And here's a chance for Conchar. Throws the pass over to Pippen Jr. 5 to shoot. Into her middle. Pippen Jr. can't make the two-pointer. It's Clark with his third rebound of the night. As he rolls the pass, Gobert up. Great D by Huff to stop the effort as he denies the shot. And back the other way it goes. Gigi Jackson. They're bouncing out, scoring the bench for the Grizz by 9. They really noticed what was going to happen like that, but that really took it over. Clark rolls to DiVincenzo. Alexander Walker for 3. Corner 3, no good. He seemed like he was having a little hard time on the effort. He's not picking up the pace here. He has to find another way to get through this. And another two-pointer misses off the target for Memphis. Here's Reed. Reed now finds again DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo now finds Alexander Walker. Walker to Clark. Clark, nowhere to find a room. Alexander Walker. Pass. Clark. DiVincenzo for 3. And good! Another three-pointer for Minnesota. DiVincenzo's got 7. On the better range, it doesn't make anything to add for that. He really took it off. A three-pointer. And that's it for the third quarter. 46-34 is the score. Minnesota trying to pull the upset over on Memphis. Well, we'll find out what happens with the fourth quarter. Coming up, will be the finishing to make the end 4-4 for the regulation. Trying to keep the team quiet, but let's find out what happens then. You're watching the play-in tournament of the NBA on 2K Sports. Let's have a quick look here for the State Farm assist of the game.
What they're making it look prouder is now that have you ever seen this ball moving? It's harder percentage for McDaniels as he's been looking over it. The pass up, it's angled to Edwards, and that one rolls out with the dunk. It's just harder. It makes sense now. I mean, you got to believe it.
Indeed. It's just what happens now with Edwards. He gets it possible. Fourth quarter about to be beginning. Glad you have us back with us, and we're ready to get this thing on the roll to finish it off. For the last group on the court, Conley is with on DiVincenzo. Reed's right toward center. Edwards is right toward the shooting guard position, and Julius Randle in point forward position. On the start makes a try for DiVincenzo. He has 9 points. Looking like there was a bit of problem with the point guard positions. Nobody's getting a better offense. Now Morant moves out of the way. Up for 3. Tries it and he makes it in. He has a three-pointer to give it up. And here's Conley. Right turn away, now finding to Randall. Randall scanning the floor a bit. Now finds Edwards. Edwards finds the pass to Conley. Conley, pass to Reed. Overhead. Good D. For a rebound. Almost lost the ball. It's back to Julius Randle. Conley, need to make the new change out there, but down to 6 to go. Vincenzo for 3. That's another miss by Minnesota. And Morant's right turning away. Spreading out a little bit, not trying to give us some uncomfortable with. Pass to Jackson Jr. That shot went too hard, and it's rebounded by Reed.
He's a little bit off of the track out there. I mean, keep an eye on here for Jackson Jr. He's really trying to get all of his better percentage done. He didn't seem like he was going to make it that time, but he has to give somebody else a better open look. Just try to watch on him if he can make out look at it account.
After a bucket by Julius Randle, here's Morant. Slick on the move. Morant up. Driving no good. Final 5 minutes left, presented by Adidas. Now it's Conley is right toward it away as he goes down trying to give over to DiVincenzo. Looks to Conley, and he went out and foul. That will be on Jackson Jr. on the block. That will be his second foul. Substitutions coming on the court as Edie returns on the court. McDaniels is checked in for DiVincenzo, and Edwards is back on the court. Randall, read up, 4-2. That one takes it off, and 2 hard to make. Morant, trying to settle a pace moment. Entered away, alley-oop, denied. That turned it over again. I thought he was going to make that one over to Edie this time. I mean, when now he was really like turning it over on a whip. He really felt like he was not putting a better effort. Over 80 and goes in. Nas Reed with 8 points in a game.
Oh, they're silencing right now. They're just hoping and praying. There is no stopping this advantage.
And timeout given by Memphis Grizzlies with 4:13 to go. Wow. They've been pushing their effort. Nothing really stopped here until this happened with the next breakdown. For the next part of the game, as we will be sending things over to have for tomorrow night's game, beginning on April 17th, will be the only 2 games in the range by the win to get in. And as they will be able to try to put it in, and the long losers go home. They will be done for the season. The first game we will be seeing things is the Bulls against the Heat. Quite of a tight competition, as you've already been recalling this one, harder to make in. And as for the opposing in for the play-in games, there might be only one that might change everything. And on the other side of it, as we will have the other game, it will be the Kings and the Mavericks. All games here will be underway very soon. Keep your eyes on for the next matchup. Only on Son of Beast. First game starts at 7 p.m. and then the second game starts at 9:30 p.m. on the other side. Be sure to stick around for the interaction of the matchup, for the announcement for our Battle of the 8th seed. Now let's get back on the court. Here's Morant. Talk from David Aldridge about John Morant as he's really been looking over and astronic pace. The struggle releases continues over. It's nothing but they ranged in quickly, but they really been kept on quiet.
They did. I mean, they have no idea how they did, but they're really like keeping it over. They didn't really seem to go in there at all. I haven't seen anybody like open the room. This really kept on coming and fast.
Indeed. I mean, I do so now that John Morant really needs to step into the game. Jackson Jr. A 2-pointer flow jump. No good. No problem as he makes it in there. As he hits another 2-pointer. Conley. With 3:20 left to go, and he now finds it over to Randall as he now has it to McDaniels. 3 for Randall. And it's no good from the outside. Goes for his own rebound, now with only 3:08 to go. Tightness on the game. Morant outside. Rebound by Edie. And good. Rolls back in. Timing it quickly. A 54-41 game. They're in a 2-minute mark in with Randall as he will now try to get over to Anthony Edwards. Give the back look to Conley. Over Morant. That step backer no good. Morant now finds Wells. Wells. Pass to Edie. Up it goes. And it gives it back. Reed pulls it over to McDaniels. That Parter drive's not really putting a better effort here. And he's really been looking like he was already been pumped out. He's not playing it for real. Reed. To McDaniels. Time is wasting down. McDaniels for 2. And it's off the rim again. Ball almost been knocked over by Julius Randle, and it's rebounded by Wells. Nothing changed over. Ball almost tipped, and we do have a jump ball. It's in between Wells and Conley.
Oh man, that didn't really settle things down. It looks like they're now just going to have to give it over again. Give somebody else a win.
Grizzlies keep it alive. Morant. Toward the wing. Too hard. Now rolls it over to Reed this time. And here's McDaniels. To Reed.
And slammed it! What a take on! And as Reed as 10.
Well, the silence in the crowd now, I mean, that's where FedEx Forum, they really had nowhere to be found. They've really been left out.
Wales makes it 3. 56-44 to the skip. 4. We're down in 90 seconds. Conley now finds it over to Edwards. Edwards gives to Conley for a step back, and he ducks it again. Another 2-pointer for the Timberwolves as they've been striking every game.
Yeah, there's no way better than that without Cat. That really makes it a harder chance on the disability of the range. There's nowhere to be found afterwards. They've really been knocked down.
Final minute to go in the fourth quarter, and he now finds it over to Conley. Conley now finds it again to McDaniels. As he rolls it over, now finding Conley. Conley. The pass to Randall. Chance in range, up for 2. And a solid D by Zach Edey. 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And ran up, and he's fouled. Coming Anthony Edwards with his first personal. There may not be enough time to get over to this because of Anthony Edwards. He's been knocked down. Just only 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We'll have to see if they can get an advantage to try to pull it back in.
Well, there may not be enough time afterwards there because what happens with Ja Morant and your team, they're getting a little bit dissed out. This is when they're going to have no sign to make the relief to try to pull it back in. If they don't get this in time, that means the other team scores.
Morant makes a free throw. As the big changes going on here for the Wolves. 4 players checked out, 4 players checked in. McDaniels moves over. Clark and Dillingham are checked in. And for Grizzlies, Edey's checked out. As Huff, Jackson, Williams Jr., and Conchar are checked in. Good for the second free throw. Team trailing it down again. Dillingham watching the time clock and shot clock. Dillingham now finding Anthony Edwards. Tries to give it over to McDaniels. Want to see the big move, and he did. Alvin McDaniels with his first bucket after Edwards.
Well, it seemed like now, I mean, this is a turn to be. It's a big finish.
And that's it. Timberwolves are facing on against the Houston Rockets, and they'll be playing at Houston to get the start on a big run.
Big scores, nothing really changes, but that is it. There's no questions to ask about it. What happens with that?
And that's the game. Your final score is 60-46. And that's remaining right now. We will now send you over to the courtside. And David Aldridge will be sitting in behind the courtside. Who do you have with us, David?
Thanks very much. Rudy, what did the bench do to help you get this win tonight?
That'd be huge. They brought us back in the game, and everyone contributed. It wasn't an easy night for us at the beginning, but we kept fighting, and it's a big win for us.
I'm sure you want to keep it going, man. Congrats. Back to you guys.
All right, David, thank you so much. And that about wraps it up, folks. Along with Terry, Son of Beast, and Roy, and David Aldridge, this has been a presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports for the play-in tournament. Thank you for joining with us, and we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.
All right, Terry, thank you so much. What a biggest on a disaster, but this one was changing in difference. The Minnesota Wolves are climbing back into the postseason. Nothing really settles it down with the big scores, 60-46. Here's how they did with the total statistics. With the Timberwolves, they only had 54 field goal range. They've been pulling it in. Without Karl Anthony Towns, this might be the perfect range here for Rudy Gobert to keep all of his pressure. 38 and 88% for three-pointers and free throws for Memphis Grizzlies. There was 4 fast break points that made it in. 32 points in paint for Minnesota. 6 chance on the points here by both teams with Minnesota and Memphis. 26 bench points and with the assist for Minnesota. 10 defensive rebounds for Memphis Grizzlies. Then it was 25 defensive rebounds. Minnesota took it all with 4 steals, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. 5 team fouls were given by Memphis and Minnesota. 3 dunks. That must have meant on Minnesota that they took it over with 17 biggest lead and 16-11 was a time of possession. That was all that they changed in. Now over to you, Woodspoony, with 3 stars. Alright, thank you there, fan. As we're looking over to make the finishing outwards, it has been like a hard jury to do for anybody's game. But as of right now, I've got to say now, it's been like almost impossible. Nothing really stands out if they really wanted to keep it going inwards, but let's see what they do. Now for the start for the 3rd star, I have a little bit of a great range to give the start to Zach Edey. He's been playing really well with only 1 dunk and 11 performance, but I got a great range to have of 5 on 9 field goals, 11 points and 7 rebounds. He's really been doing excellent, better communication skills. I love his energy. He's putting it great. 2nd star player of the game for the Minnesota Timberwolves, as we really are looking forward into, and I have one feeling, it goes over right over toward Nas Reed with 1 dunk, not this one, but I'm thinking that Rudy Gobert, he performed with 2 blocks, and he really been taking over. 11 rebounds, 5 points in the game, and 2 out of 3. While I only stand out here, only just a block, he just had it denying the better effort. 7 performance effort, great job. And for the 1st star player of the game, well, we give that one a better warm and welcome to give it to Anthony Edwards with 14 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 out of 11 field goals, and only 22 performance effort with only 2 dunks. How can you be out there like him? That's definitely what the question is to concern. Well, they definitely did, Woodspoony, and definitely, we really love his energy. Of course we do. That's it for now here, folks. That includes the first night of the doubleheader of the play-in tournaments. Stick around for tomorrow, as we will be back in to get ready for our next tomorrow night's game. The first game will be happening with 7 o'clock p.m. as the Bulls take on against the Heat at United Center. It's a rematch again, but they might be finding out who will take it all with the change. And for the other side of it, the Dallas Mavericks are playing against the Sacramento Kings. That'll be all the first game that will be happening here to give this one a big start to show how it's done. Indeed we do. I mean, it's definitely what we are given over with. When it moves on, others go home. So, as of right now, the predicted on the brackets will be in. It has now been changed in with the losing team to face against the 9 or 10th seed winner. That means it will be only one. For the East, Bulls versus the Heat, or this will be the changeover right on the other side of it with the West. That will be changing in possible by Sacramento or Dallas. That'll be all games here, sticking around for tomorrow. And as for the losing team, it was the Wolves and the Atlanta Hawks. It was no question to concern how this will change. In the meantime, we're heading out of here. Thanks for joining us, and with that being said, peace out for a while as the NBA play-in tournament dial. This is me, Phone, and Woodspoony, signing out. Have a great night in Memphis, everybody, and we'll see you all again tomorrow night. Adios!
If you don't, somebody will.